Come on, come on, come on. How you want it, cognac or Patron? Brunch with the boys, we gon' give you what you want. And what you don't know, we about to put you on. Come on, come on, come on. How you want it, cognac or Patron? Brunch with the boys, we gon' give you what you want. And what you don't know, we about to put you on. Yes, we are the trending topic. We relationship prophets. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest. Brunch with the boys, we the hottest.
It's your boy King Des here, another episode of Brunch with the Boys. It's wonderful Friday evening. I'm feeling fantastic. How we doing, gentlemen?
Jeezy, we in this thing. What's good, everybody?
Hey, it's Mr. Gent out. Yes.
Yeah, you still doing that, huh?
I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it next week.
You...
No, because I feel like I've been overcommitted to this intro, and the old Gent never used to commit to shit like this. You know what I'm saying?
I've actually known you to commit to everything immediately within a week.
Well, I was talking more about my intro.
Anyways, enough about us. We got a special guest this evening.
Hey,
goes by the name of
Trevor Cassaberry, man. So
not the government.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the whole. He's an author, so I want to give him his full name. You know what I'm saying?
Need that government.
He don't got no pseudo names. He don't got no baby mamas trying to find him. He running from no child support.
That's what's up.
He's legit. So we bringing Trevor on so we can have a true Brunch with the Boys feel. Sorry, ladies, this is all men only as we talk about our subject matter today. But I want to just take some time to talk a little bit about Trevor. So he has a book a book series that he's authored, and it's really from a target audience standpoint designed for those 9-to-5 hustlers who have realized that is not a viable hustle and trying to change the mindset and elevate their game. So he has a book series, and book 1 and book 2 is out, right, Trev? So what's book 1 called?
Book 1 is titled For the Hustler, and is written to teach everybody how to identify and monetize their skill set.
Word. Bet. What about book 2?
Book 2 is titled For the Hustler, Volume 2, The Investment versus the Investor. And that one teaches readers how to become a more disciplined investor and helps them create their own investment morals as they read the book.
Real quick, and I know we got a topic we want to get on, but real quick, Trevor, how did you become knowledgeable about these things enough where you feel comfortable enough to share them with others and get into the world of authoring? Where'd you learn from?
Gotcha. So I graduated college in 2016 with an electrical engineering degree. And pretty much 3 months before graduation, I dislocated my shoulder playing basketball. And that same night, the only thing on my mind for some reason was how you gonna pay off your student loans? Because, I'm like, electrical engineering, it'll pay me, like let's say 60,000, but like my student loans was 100,000.
Right.
So that same night, I'm just like, you got to figure out business because basketball is over. That is done now. And the only other ways I ever made money was lifeguarding and math tutoring. And that same night I was watching an NBA game. I just decided I'm gonna write down 10 things I would change about the NBA. And the next morning I woke up, was still thinking about it. And every day I just kept going back to it. And eventually I got to the point where I'm like, Trevor, you can't afford to put together no basketball league. Like you don't even got 100,000 for your student loans.
Right.
You're talking about putting together this $1 million league. And someone just convinced me, like, Trevor, imagine you run into an investor. You just so happen to be talking about it with somebody and an investor is walking by because you live in New York. It's a possibility. You need to know at least the numbers and everything so you can explain it.
Sure.
So at that same time, I went back and I just started studying the history of the NBA and wrote down basically every industry that I could see that they use as an income source. And I started studying it myself daily. And this was all, I had to cram in all this information by the time I graduated. So in putting together that business plan that eventually became one for a pro league in the Bronx, I realized I didn't necessarily need millions of dollars to start it. I just needed the team owners to be people that owned all the businesses that it took to support the league. So we need somebody on a food truck, and we need jerseys, somebody on a clothing company, things like that. I came home, started telling all of my friends and family about it, and they were all with it. They started, talking about which businesses they wanted to start. And at that point, I began having to coach them on it.
Yeah.
And that's how this whole thing came, was just the whole consulting was through this coaching.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
That's a good backstory, bro.
We appreciate that.
So just the last thing is, where can they find your book for purchase?
They can go to hustlerbooks.com.
All right. And then look for the title.
Straight and simple.
All right.
It'll be right there.
All right. That's the bet, man. So
what we getting into tonight?
So we want to get into forgiveness. And this is a topic close to Gent's heart. So I expect him to be very open and vulnerable.
I mean, that's unfair, solely because I said this was an idea.
No, it is. It is. We're putting it on you. So forgiveness is something that not many master, especially in relationships. But forgiveness in relationships is necessary because otherwise you will hold on to negative feelings, and those feelings could manifest into angry outbursts, passive aggressive behavior, and worse, misery in the relationship. Or any relationship. I imagine that would be the worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
They always say forgiveness isn't for you, or for them, but for you. Do you agree with that?
Nah, forgiveness is for me, because I think in order to forgive somebody, you have to reconcile something that happened that was pretty traumatic towards you or for you, and also reconciling the fact that life has to continue. Things have to move forward, whether through loss or tragedy, things have to move forward. And so you have to have some resiliency. And so I think a part of resiliency is forgiveness,
What about you, Jen?
I agree with Des. It's definitely for you, because you can't change anybody. You can't influence anyone to feel any other way. The only person that you can influence and impact is yourself. You can adjust yourself. And forgiveness is, to me, just nothing but an adjustment that you're making, so that you can move past that mark or place in your life, and then, supersede it and get to another level. That's all it is for me.
Trev, let me ask you a question. Have you ever dealt with someone who had a hard time asking for forgiveness?
I had a hard time asking for forgiveness?
Yeah. Ever dealt with someone who had a hard time doing it?
Nah, I'll be honest. I've been with my wife since high school, so we kind of just been fighting back and forth all these years. But nah, I don't think I would have. I wouldn't even know what that's like. Somebody have a hard time asking for forgiveness.
Unfortunately, I know it's possible. Let's talk about marriage, since you're married, and not to even put your relationship in it. But let's say someone cheats in a marriage. Does that level of forgiveness exist only because of his marriage? Because I want to ask that question on every level. Does it matter that you're married or not? So if you cheat and she's your girlfriend, is it an easier thing, or is that something you shouldn't forgive versus, you know what I mean?
I think it matters.
Yeah, I think it matters how much you got invested. Like if y'all got 4 kids and your name is on all the bills, then like you got a lot more reason to stay.
Right.
What if you've been together? What if you've been together for 10 years, no kids, and no shared property? Then you leave easy.
But let me make a differentiation. You talked about being married versus does that matter? What I would say is, when you are, listen, both of them are disrespectful as hell, right? In both situations, it's disrespectful. But if you're my girlfriend, I have not made the level of commitment in our lives as I have if you're my wife. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think there's a separate level of expectations, right? Because your girlfriend can be your girlfriend on Monday and not your girlfriend on Friday. That don't happen with your wife. So, I think there's a difference there. And I think, people look at that a little bit more harshly,
Does fiance play a role in there too or not?
I mean, I think it does in a sense. I mean, it's almost like preseason before the real season. You know what I'm saying? It counts to get you ready mentally, but is it really truly the whole, shebang-a-bang? No, it isn't. But I honestly think that because your intention was truly to make a long-term commitment and you've invested so much to that point, enough for you to say, I want to spend the rest of my life with, I think it's significant enough that it matters whether whether you want to leave or not.
So it doesn't, I don't know what made you bring up Beyonce, because to me, when you say Beyonce, it makes me
Fiance.
Oh, fiance.
You thought you said Beyonce? Beyonce.
Well, that smoke got you hard right now.
Like, Beyonce, nigga, like how we got? But no, shit, you could talk about Beyonce because Jay-Z cheated on her, and you would think no man would cheat on Beyonce, a woman of that caliber,
or Halle Berry for that matter.
Who gets it all together? Yeah, so I think there's something to be said about that. And look, even Beyonce stayed with him and forgave Jay-Z because of that marital bond that I imagine if it was his girlfriend or it was her boyfriend, she probably would have left him.
I think when it comes to marriage, I think what a lot of folks who are married realize is there may be love for that person, but it becomes a business relationship, right? And fortunately or unfortunately, when you take a look, right, and what you've accumulated in that business and what it consists of and how much stuff is intertwined in that business, you take the title of marriage away and just call it one of those businesses. You don't want to lose all of this for this one thing. Yeah. And so I think that goes to people's mindset when there's that tendency to forgive. It's not always out of altruism. Sometimes it's out of practicality, right, and convenience. So I think there are differing perspectives as to why people quote unquote forgive on the surface, but there are reasons.
Well, let me ask you a question, and any one of you guys can answer. Do you associate forgiveness and value? So the higher the value, the more likely you're going to forgive. The lower the value you perceive, the less likely you are to forgive. I'm gonna throw this junk on the XY.
I want to answer that, but I don't get Trevor opportunity. Jared, do you want to say something to
that? Well, one thing I can attest to is I definitely think, especially if you're married to the person, it becomes a business decision. So like, even in the book, when I talk about that, when I spoke to my wife about it, you would have to think about it if that was like a vendor that you had an exclusive relationship with and they backed out on the contract and, got something from another company. Is like, are you willing to sue them and take them to court and go through all of that?
Right.
Or are you just going to move on with business? And as long as everything's moving smoothly, you're likely to move on with business. If it's your girlfriend or something, you can make a lot more emotional relationship.
It's actually a fantastic fucking analogy.
I do it all the time, especially talking to my wife. So like, it's easy. So
What was you going to say, D? Do you associate value and forgiveness up and down? You see what I'm saying?
I think I want to say. I think I want to say no, but if I'm being honest, that's not the case, because if I'm just going to use myself as an example, I haven't always been this shining example of citizenship and gentlemanness. At one point in my life, I was probably not nice to the ladies, so to speak, and depending on how much I wanted her, how pretty I thought I was, I treated her better, right? And that there was shit that I would let slide with a pretty girl. I'm like, man, why she do me like that? You probably have one type of week.
Because her beauty was of great value to you.
When the girl I felt was lucky to have me, I was like, yeah, I should probably tell her and call her I'm not coming now, but she'll find out when I'm not there. You know what I mean?
The truth is, the answer is yes, no matter what. And I think that's for every person, even really, when you think about it, because that was just feeding your preference. You like a pretty girl, so if she's not pretty, you're not gonna forgive shit. If you tell her to call you at 2, she calls you at 3, your ugly ass should have called me an hour ago, and you're not gonna forgive that hoe because she doesn't have the value. She's not valued what you know what I mean?
But I think the reason I said that it shouldn't be, but it is because if we're talking about the idea of humanity, right? What that means is, regardless of how subjectively attractive a motherfucker is, how light their eyes are, how far apart they are, how big and juicy their lips are, whatever it is, aside from that, the fact that this is another person, right? They have done something, and you have reconciled the fact that this thing happened, you understand the reasoning behind it, and you're okay, and you will no longer hold that against them. That should not be based on how pretty they are. I agree that it is, but I think the ideal is that it should not be. You know what I mean?
And there's so much value, and that's why really women take advantage of forgiveness in ways a nigga never could.
Explain.
You know, maybe a lot of money can buy you forgiveness to a level that maybe a regular nigga wouldn't be able to purchase.
Only with certain women.
Yeah, only with
don't give a fuck.
Exactly. And high value women definitely don't give a fuck.
Right. And you know the perfect example of that shit? I like that too.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know
exactly. And if you can buy that hoe, come on, man.
But like real
Anybody
talk,
can.
you know what the perfect example of that shit is? The Amazon guy, Bezos,
Yeah.
is it Bezos?
Bezos,
Yeah.
yeah.
So his wife left, he cheated. She was high value. You know what I'm saying? So
But
she
only
was
because of his value.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
but still in the same breath, she was high valued in comparison to most. Let's just put it on a standard deviation.
Bring it back to Beyonce
You know what I'm
and
saying?
Jay-Z then. What made her leave and made Beyonce stay? It can't be the value, because Beyonce's earnings were never going to fall. It had to be emotion. It had to be about the love, the connection, because we all know, you know, I can fuck her and be in love with her. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
That's just the reality. And
You
We can
disagree with
talk-
that, Trevor?
and we can talk this
Before
to
we
death if
answer
you
this,
want
pass
to.
me the liquor. Boy.
Yeah, we could talk this to death, but I don't believe many women can do that. Now there are women that can do that. Met a few of them, real savage. It was nice to meet them, but most of the time, a man can fuck here and still be in love there, and that's where the problem comes in. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't lessen the connection with your girl, your wife.
Can I say something real quick? And I'm not disagreeing with
Yeah.
you, and I'm not going to get on this tangent, but I want to do an episode on this, so we got to find an expert. But I would argue that it is not natural for men to be in monogamous relationships with women, right? Or a man with one woman. That is not natural. If you look at the way the world works, men are here to procreate and to spread as much of their legacy as they can. It is natural for a woman to be monogamous to a man, but not the other way around. And you'll find very few examples in the animal kingdom, even in some human cultures, where that happens. And so my point is that I think that's why there is a proclivity, and it's something deep down inside where when a man cheats on a woman, she's much more likely to stay. If a man finds out a woman touched another man's penis on accident, she might not be there tomorrow. And that's something deep inside.
It's
not
almost
soft.
unforgivable. And we're going to talk about what's unforgivable. Well, we can do that right now. If you want to.
The only thing I want to say before we move on to that piece is she should have never gotten any slack for forgiving someone. Like, real talk. She forgave a man based off of, for whatever reason she did. But forgiveness is not a bad thing. I don't care however you package it or whatever scenario that shit is in. You're doing the forgiveness for yourself. But if you make that decision, man, you should not be penalized for it.
They're stars. They're on.
But I understand
So,
that. But let me just tell you, it doesn't matter if they're stars. A nigga in your a bitch in your neighborhood stayed with a nigga and beat her ass every day of the week, nigga, and all her girls. And all her girls is talking shit behind her back, talking like, I don't know why that bitch stayed with him.
That's something that's hard to forgive. That was on my list. Physical.
Yeah.
I wonder why. It was number one. It was on number one.
Well, they forgive. They survive.
They survive.
That's a good point.
But no, that's definitely one reason. One thing that people struggle to forgive. If you put your hands on a woman, and I've never, done it in a physical, you know what I'm saying?
Not in the way Shane won't. Hey.
Well, I met girls that like to get slapped around while they're having sex. Manhandled and you know what I'm saying?
Damn near.
And you met the right one, ho, Hey.
That's about right.
But anyway, so I want to get back to what I was saying earlier about women being able to manipulate forgiveness the best. You see, men beyond the money and even good dick, right? Good dick can only take you so far. What a woman will still fuck you if she's super mad at you and busts off the dick and knows you're going to give her the dick, even though she fucked up. For the most part. And can you argue that, right? So when she fucks up, you don't think it's easy for her to gain your forgiveness? If she starts sucking you off and just say sorry gently,
Let me ask you a question.
A lot of niggas is
forgiveness is time a defining factor of forgiveness. So what I mean is, once forgiveness is given, can it be temporary or must it be sustained? Because what I would tell you is, if there is no time limit on it, a motherfucker will forgive you for as long as it takes him to bust, and then he'll be like, I fucking hate you. You know what I mean?
I think that when it comes to a relationship, and I've asked couples many times, that when they have sex, that's supposed to be the resolution to, hey, we talked about it, we fucked, we're good now. You know what I'm saying? So if that's would you disagree, Trevor?
That don't work.
I'm not saying it works, but it's usually the understanding. And if you talk to a lot of women who are married, they will. That's what they think. That's what they think. They think that once you fuck them, once that you allow them to please you, because guess what? She been stingy before, but now she done fucked up. So now she gonna suck you off extra sloppy, eye contact, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She got the titties out, the saliva dripping on the titties. She just wet chest. You know what I'm saying? And she's doing all of that. Why? Because she wants her forgiveness. And the moment you accept it, the moment you come in her mouth, you are fucking good. And don't you dare bring that shit up again. Tell me I'm lying, Trav.
Nah, it didn't work for me like that.
I'm saying that's what they expect.
I feel you, but like right after the next day when she woke up, I was already over there. Like,
I totally feel you. That's the reality. You know what I'm saying? Because we have feelings too, and I think when it comes to forgiveness, women always forget that.
100%.
And we're supposed to be stoic, tough, and easy,
or because they feel like we're like single-minded, and like not every there's brothers that are complex, man. Sex ain't gonna do nothing for me if I'm hot,
and you know what? I'm gonna say
I'm like a chick, dog. I'll close my legs up if I'm upset.
Right.
No, you know what? And you know what? I've had petty thoughts like that, but then they always overcome with, you know what? That's what you want to do, bitch. I'm gonna take that fucking pussy. Then you're not gonna use me. I'm not gonna play. Who playing who? I'm fucking your ass, and I'm still mad, ho. God damn it. Shit, and you know when you mad, you fuck them extra rough. Dude. Tell me I'm lying. Bitch, we borderline abuse right now. So you better say one fucking thing wrong, ho, and this shit go left, okay? Shit, I tell you that. So, you know what I'm saying? So don't bring that mad pussy to me, okay? Shit.
You make it happy?
Man, I try to tell you.
Let me just say that was a PSA for those.
Man.
Do not cross Jeezy in a relationship.
You mad. All right, I'm fucking the shit out of your throat tonight, girl.
How
over here if you want.
How does revenge play a factor in that? Like, do you think that people can actually forgive somebody after they get revenge? So like, let's say you cheated on her and she like, all right, but now I want one get back. You now are you on edge? Like, nah, you ain't getting no get back on me.
One sin doesn't trump another sin, bro. Like that's what my take is. That's why do you think you get that trite expression or the cliche expression, man? Someone's taking a higher road and someone's taking a lower road.
I'm not down.
If all of us taking high roads, guess what? Someone from the crash, bitch. So I mean,
all right, bet if she cheated first, so she's like, all right, stay. I'll let you get one get back.
I'll be honest with you.
Are you getting?
If she cheated on me, I would take the get back, and then I'd be like, I can't forgive you.
Exactly. See, exactly.
And I probably would have took the get back, but told her I didn't, and still left her ass. I feel like shit while I was fucking that other bitch. But you know, people always ask that, would you stay if she cheated? But the fact is, if she had a good reason to, and I knew I was fucking up, I might stay. And if I know I wasn't taking you out, I know I was ignoring your feelings, yada yada, and you say, oh yeah, this nigga, he was talking to me and he always heard me, and I was like, damn, and I did.
That's actually fair.
Like, that's fair.
No, I didn't even know you could get there.
And I want to say, if I wasn't even, fucking her consistently, and another nigga stepped in and did it, now that's gonna be hard to believe, because it's like, do you know me? But hey, let's say for the sake of this argument, I wasn't. I have to take that and hold myself accountable and say, hey, that nigga said I can work past that. Yeah. But if she just cheating and everything feel right, everything been good, we fucked yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Like everything on point, then that's a different type of cheat, and I probably would be done with the hoe.
Understood. Fair.
And that's why a lot of hoes stay with niggas, right? Because they know they be on that bullshit. You know the man.
Let me ask you a quick question. I know I don't want to talk on top.
Go ahead.
You find out your girl has been hanging out with this dude from work. They go to the gym after work. She been going after the gym. He happens to be there, and maybe they grab like a smoothie afterwards. But it's been happening for 3 or 4 weeks now. Like 3 or 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
Is that a problem? Are you saying stop that shit? Or are you like, hey, as long as that shit is friendly, I'm good? What are you saying?
The reality is what you know. If you wouldn't tell your spouse what you're doing, then you know you're on bullshit. And it hurt my heart to even say it.
And so you're saying if you wouldn't tell,
If you wouldn't tell.
but if she came and told you, you also feel like
If she came and told me, I'd have to respect, because I have female friends that are platonic.
Yeah.
So I would respect you.
You wouldn't want to, but
You respect it, and I wouldn't even say I wouldn't want to, because I've seen every side of this shit, you know, in my time. So realistically, I'm just gonna let shit go how it's supposed to go. What's meant for me will be, and what wasn't won't. So I'm not even worried about that. If she ended up leaving and fucking this nigga, I appreciate this nigga coming along so he could show me who she was, because I might have wasted more time, you know, thinking she was something else. So
Cool.
all right, so we talked about the differences in dating, forgiving within dating, friends with benefits. What about friends with benefits? Is there any forgiveness if you just fucking?
Like, how could she cross you? And you concerned about that cross if there's no legit investment, no legit feelings?
Because you're talking how it's supposed to be, but we ain't talking about what it is. Let me tell you something. If you even if y'all had a conversation, right? You fucking the bitch, you think, man, I'm fucking her so much, she can't be fucking nobody else, right? And you find out she hanging out with other niggas, and he fucking too. Niggas gonna feel some kind of way. She ain't got to be labeled your girl. Y'all disagree?
Yeah, because most men, once we stick it in, it's ours. And I told somebody that the other day, like, if I hit it, it's got to be mine exclusive. Like, I would never even consider sharing. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much pussy out here. Why can't we all have one?
I think for dudes it's a little different. I think more dudes would be okay if the friends with benefits were smashing mad dudes, as opposed to if it was just one other guy, because then it feels like you got more competition.
Say that one more time.
That we would want it to be more guys?
Yeah, the guys that's okay getting with the friends with benefits situation, with her smashing other dudes. Usually it's okay if she's smashing a bunch of other guys, because it's like, okay, she probably don't care about none of them.
So that's what
I see. If it's just that one other guy,
there's feelings involved. I like him.
She might dump me and might really stay with him. I think that's, at least for the people I know, that's what I see the most.
And you know what's funny? I still want the pussy that somebody else ain't got. You know what I mean? Like, really? if I were gonna choose,
I'm not like that though.
If I were gonna choose, I'm saying I thought I was in a tough position anyway. Choosing between a chick who's fucking a bunch of guys versus a chick that's just fucking one guy. I prefer to share my pussy with one dick versus 5. You know what I'm saying?
Even if she loved him more than she would have loved other
if I'm not in a relationship with her and we're just friends with benefits, what she's doing is her fucking business. I gotta stay in my lane. We talked about it last week. I was the best side hoe ever. Oh, you say call you then, here, then, do this, that. Done deal. You'll never hear from me otherwise. What?
So you would cut
I would rather
ties.
be one.
You would cut ties if you just found out that, like, oh yeah, there's 5 other dudes. You would just cut ties right there.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't a hoe. Like, you know, I use the term hoe a lot. And someone I put it on in a chat, a group thing, and I was like, yeah, just hold this. If I pay for this, that. She was like, you fuck with hoes? No hoe. Hoe is how I speak. But I will clarify here to make the point I made to her. Right. That chick fucking 5 people, my friend, is a whore. And yes, I will not fuck a whore. You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't do it.
But you'll stay friends with her.
Yeah. I mean, what's friends? What's friends?
How many of us have?
Yeah, she said she fucking 5 niggas, and she said she love giving head. She can't hit my blunt. Straight.
And that's a major, interaction in your friendship.
Exactly. And you know how I feel about smoking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a major infraction.
So, all right. What about forgiveness during sex? You ever had someone? You ever been stroking a chick and blindly and maybe poked her in the ass before you got into the pussy? That's a common mistake every man.
I literally make that mistake all the time.
That's not a mistake on you. You don't want to learn. You don't want to. Yeah, that's not a mistake. That's the plan.
Yeah.
No,
okay,
but I'm saying that those, what kind of?
Oh yeah, listen. I think here's the difference. I think forgiveness for those people who make mistakes with good intentions are often forgiven and easier to forget. It's the forgiving of actions of those with bad intentions that is difficult sometimes. If you trying to beat the pussy up and you just stuck in the wrong hole, she might be like, look, tighten up, right? It's easy.
Yeah, I think for me, and I don't know if any of y'all are like this because I'm different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you are.
But I know I've been in situations, right, where we're having sex. I take care of you. You come 8 times, whatever the case may be.
Why you got to put a number on?
No, I'm just
and a big number too.
Well, let me just tell you, I'll let you know right now that I conquered that.
First of all,
so don't try me.
I've been saying,
I tried you.
Okay, but hey, listen, I put it out there because I meant it. Okay, say it with my chest.
Well, ladies, we know where his DM is going to be. You know what I'm saying? 8 times.
But what
let us know if he's telling the truth, please.
But the reality is, then in that same sexual transaction, because you came that many times, you pass out, and you didn't take care of me.
So can you forgive?
Hold on, and it's happened. Let's say it happens 3 times in a row.
You got to get the fuck up.
This is personal.
No.
Before that happen, you got to get up.
No, I'm just listen. You see how upset you are right now? I felt that passion. Okay.
In real life, for real.
In real life, I felt that passion.
I see it in his
eyes.
And
and so, is there a situation where you sit here and can say, like, I honestly forgive you?
You obviously did
for not taking care of me. Like, you're being selfish.
Did she apologize?
Yes, but what is an apology if the next time
you can't go back and fuck?
Yeah, that's true too. But what's an apology if the next time we have a sexual transaction that still takes place? You see what I'm saying? If we're doing
this happened a lot of times.
This happened several times.
There's only really one solution for that.
Yeah.
You stop trying to make her come so much, or she stops accepting your advances. I mean, like, that what you want?
Yeah. I would stop making her come so much.
Right.
Take care of this dick hole. And then,
with the hard H?
Oh yeah, hole. and then if you behave, then if you do it well, I will make you come. Get the hell out of here. She's actually going to like that.
I tell you one thing.
That's it you'll get.
It took me some time for forgiveness on that. And to be honest with you, I held on to it. Because there's nothing worse than that happening. Your chick rolls over and then you alone with your feelings in the bed. And you still got your situation on hard.
Yeah.
Like, there is nothing more just vicious of a feeling.
My feeling of marriage, as far as that goes, was laying in the bed and her falling asleep yet again early before you even had the chance.
She got to wake up.
And let me tell you, and hold on.
Wake up. You got to suck this dick. Wake up. Y'all better hate, man. Use your words.
And I've handled that from every perspective, from the abrupt wake up, to the slow slide in, try to slip that shit in. Slip that shit in while she's still asleep. By the time she wake up, the dick in your hole. I know that one. But I think it got to a point where, men, I say it to you all the time, men want to be desired too. If a nigga gotta always wake it up and take it like a thief in the night, that shit come lame to me. And I'm too fine for that shit. You gonna come get this. This is how I feel.
Yeah, you get stuff thrown at them too. It's hard to,
you know what I'm saying? And
you make me climb a tree for the coconut, and I'm getting coconuts handed to me out of the cooler every day.
Dog, and that's the crazy
thing. But you know what the funny thing is? Let's flip it on the other side, Trev, right? So if your girl comes around and she gives you a back rub, expecting zero shit in return, right? What is wrong with that? Like, should we requiring reciprocation every time?
No.
But someone can say that too about sex and relationships. So why should forgiveness be necessary?
There are women.
I'm just
but when it comes to a back rub, like, I'm getting the back rub. That's it. She's not getting nothing out of this. When it comes to sex, we both getting something out of this. And I think people be making it seem like when we have sex, we just getting this great thing from women and they not getting nothing, or they getting something and we getting something out of it too. That's an equal exchange.
I think though sometimes when it comes to head, you know, I know women that feel like all that ultimately matters is that the man comes. And
I know
those
that.
are great women. Those women,
Those are great women.
those women will typically have a dick around them. They know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, so to hear you say that about a back rub, yeah, you can rub my back. Men rub feet all the time. Men apologize all the time.
D said he don't rub no feet.
You don't rub feet? And you know women get pedicures all the time. If your girl is about anything, she get pedicures.
I'm happy for her. That's why I put the bill.
Okay. I'll rub her back though with no bra on.
That's how I used to get into all my pussy when I was younger too. I'd be like, I'm the best massage. Nigga ain't never gave me a massage. I'm the best massage.
Second massage ever.
I go in there too, and I say, but your pants, I get the bottom of your back. And I'm like, I can't massage your back with your bra strap on.
No, and if you say it the right way, the bra always.
Oh, listen, I said like I'm trying to give you a fucking massage shit. Help me out.
Yeah.
Then once you start rubbing on that, you get the thumbs working in there.
Come on,
they get
man.
wet. It's easy.
I
digress.
Come on, man.
Passionate, right?
I really wonder sometimes why they say yes. Like, why do they? It's like they almost want to. They want to do the cat and mouse chase. Like, no, because what a woman told me, and many women told me that whatever a woman says, they usually mean the opposite. So if she tells you no, she usually wants you to keep going. She says stop. You know what I'm saying? So women say, "Oh, you're trouble or you're bad." That means she wants something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like women are real weird in the way they communicate. You know what I'm saying? Indirectly rather than directly like men do, logically.
So let's give another one, Trev. So you in a situation, and let's say you're dating now. We're not going to use you being actually married, and you come fast. Do you expect forgiveness based off of your malfunction, or you know what I'm saying, or your underperformance? And because I'm only asking this because on the flip side, if her pussy ain't shit, are you gonna forgive her?
Is this the first time?
Yeah, let's say it's the first time.
If it's the first time, like that's like a coin flip. Like they could just like never pick up your phone or call again.
Yeah,
but
and that'd have been fair too.
But if this is at least the second time, then I'm like, come on, like that was just a bad time. You gotta judge me at my best, not at my worst.
That sounds like something a man would say. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important within the first 3 sessions to establish who you are in the pussy. Yeah. And I don't think your head has to be laid down within the first 3 because I know that's what you go to, right? That's the thing. But to me, head should be treated more safe.
That's icing on the cake.
Yeah, you gotta
show the cake.
Did you just say that it should be treated more
your
safely?
tongue shouldn't be given.
No, that's
this nigga's talking about his actual dick over a tongue.
Yes, nigga.
No, tongue is way more personal.
Come on.
Oh my
Kiss is more personal than fucking
kissing is intimate. That's why you see the girl from last week. Shout out.
Your fuck girls you won't kiss.
She said niggas ain't even kissing hoes no more. They fucking no kiss.
I would rather kiss someone than to fuck them.
What? I just learned this about you?
No, yes, nigga, because that shit, nigga, that's an exchange of fucking energy to me. You know what I'm saying?
Kissing is.
No, nigga, fucking. I'm interjecting my damn soul into you and you doing the same. That's an exchange of energy. Dog, they say in many cultures, whoever you fuck, you're essentially fucking every
nobody don't want to hear that shit.
So you're telling me that is more sacred to me than
I think you're
kissing some chick, nigga,
and
who has some creepy tongue. What am I supposed to like? At the end of the day, dog, I can leave that situation.
I think the passion. I think sex, honestly, like penis and vagina sex is, and you boil it down, it's mechanical as fuck. Yeah. Right? It's a fucking this widget with this fucking widget with this fucking widget, right? It's mechanical. Right? You got an engineer on here. That's what it is, though. It's an organic machine, is what sex is. But kissing is not mechanical.
It's so intimate.
It is intimate. It is fluid. It is passionate. And you know this week we doing topic.
We doing Trevor as the tiebreaker.
Ain't no Trevor
because you don't have.
We doing Trevor.
It's gonna be a tie. We agree with you.
Come on.
All right. So to your point, I think in the first 3 sessions, you got to at least show that you're real good at one of 3 things, and that's either foreplay, head, or fucking.
You foreplay, nigga. Foreplay.
Women love foreplay.
No,
some of them like that.
Women love foreplay. Don't get me wrong, and I fucking know it. and I believe in fucking the mind before I fuck the pussy. So I fucked you in the goddamn restaurant before we got here. However, if you think foreplay is what's gonna stand, I know, dog. No,
I think it is.
Let that nigga have his opinion.
I'm gonna finish.
Yeah,
Listen,
I know.
I don't think enough. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. So my point is, but listen to me. I think it's so few men do it. If you do it, you get
right.
Oh, you win major points. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Not in and of itself,
if you
but
get
the fact that
kids,
it's not done. Yes.
No, if you
Hold a fucking conversation.
let me tell you what.
Shit.
Let me tell you what's another good one, fellas. Hold their hand. You go out on a date, you take them anywhere.
That's special.
To
Niggas do that, though.
if you just
Niggas
grab
like
their
it.
hand, oh my God,
That's
women
always been a
eat
problem
that
for
shit
me,
up.
too.
Women eat that shit up.
I got to really like you to hold.
Oh yeah, that's all been a
I have my entire life.
Oh my, me too. Dog, me too. I have swatted hands away, dog. When they come my way, dog, stop it. Like, I'm not playing.
Women want to be claimed, fellas. They want to be claimed in a
I get it,
positive
bro.
way, you know. So they love when you hold their hands. That's a little tip for you.
I just don't want their hands to be moist, dog.
Yeah, sometimes you ever held a sweaty hand? I have.
I don't. If it's sweaty, I let
I
it go.
have. You gotta let it go. But it was awkward that it was sweaty the moment I touched it.
Yeah.
And she knew it was too, and she wiped her shit. It's too late, baby. This already happened.
But I still need Trev.
Sweaty
I'm not done yet. Trev got to answer this question, though.
What?
Trev, you got to answer the question in regards to what we were like.
Is it more intimate, kissing or fucking?
More intimate. I would say more intimate is gonna be kissing.
My man.
Thank you.
I would,
My man.
I would
This
say,
nigga got it
hold
back.
on,
Man.
let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Man.
I would say fucker is definitely like more risky and more of an investment. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, Trey, you might have said it all. Many niggas gonna risk their life for the pussy, boy. Oh my God, boy. Nigga will risk it all.
Finish, man. Finish. Go ahead, Trev.
nah, that was pretty much it. Like,
Hey,
Yeah, he dropped the mic. My bad.
yeah,
dog.
you know what? That was a good mic drop. I
Yeah.
can't say nothing.
No, you're right. But yeah, so Gent, you see,
I'm on my own, dog.
boy, you,
All right, so
you said you were a special nigga too.
I know, I do.
so we're gonna move on. What will not work is being mad at your partner without them even knowing what you're mad about. So not opening up and having an honest conversation, not communicating, you know, that's a difficult thing to do if you're gonna have forgiveness in a relationship. So
But don't you think that's, I mean, I'm not going to generalize, but for the most part, don't you think that's women and men? Dude, I think most 99% of dudes are pretty fucking straightforward and express about how they feel. I think 9+% of women are not. So I think that shit one-sided as fuck, to be honest. And I normally don't take that perspective, but I don't think it's even.
Some niggas don't like the bitch, and they feel like bitching is some bitch ass shit. So therefore, that's not an avenue they willing to.
why is it bitching if she's getting away with toxic
No,
behavior?
I'm not saying that you're
I get it.
inaccurate, but to a man, some of these men, they just feel like that's what it is. Like they're there to be stoic, they're there to be the rock, they're there to be a man's man, and that means we shut off like feminine feelings. And at telling someone that you hurt their feelings is, some people constitute that as feminine shit. I mean, I'm just saying.
Let me ask you this, Trev. Do you agree that a man is more likely to stay with a woman if she makes him feel safe and secure about being vulnerable?
yeah, for sure.
Emotionally vulnerable, like bitch shit. Like if your homeboy walked by, you'd be ashamed of the shit you just said.
Yeah, like like I still don't even like crying in front of my wife. Like if we talking, I'm stressed about something, I feel tears come, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Gotta get out of there. Gotta get out of there, dog. Gotta get out of there. As a man, I understand your pain.
But I'll at least let her like hear my voice crack or something like
Yeah,
that.
Let her know you're human.
Yeah.
Well, you killing me.
But see, that's my point. Though. How crazy is that we can't be ourselves, but they can be themselves to the fullest, and we're expected to accommodate and adapt to their personality changes throughout it all.
We train like that.
Yeah. I don't disagree with Jeezy, but the thing is, that's the fucking lot of life. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to be no man bashing nothing because I'm one of these motherfuckers, right? But like, it's like No, like all shit. It's like white people complaining about shit they don't get in the United States. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, and for men, stop complaining about all the shit we don't get. Right? Like, men dominate this fucking planet. Right? We're least likely to be fucking assaulted and victims of all. Like. So if there's something where it seems like a woman gets a little bit more leeway on something, yo, chalk it up to the fucking game, dude. Like,
do you think it's balanced then? You think it ultimately?
Hell no, men on the plus, no doubt. We got the power, we got the money, we got the positions, we got leadership, we got all that stuff. We don't have no period, we don't have no babies. Man. Like, ain't nobody raping us.
So,
like,
so basically, well, some men getting raped, I heard. But that based on the power balance in the world, men, this is just something we have to take on the head. Like, this is just what it is.
Exactly. Like, it is true that we get the shitty end of the stick sometimes.
Emotional.
And it's part of all the good shit we get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so to me, that just feels, it's tough, you know, but I can't disagree with you. I think women take that to their, you know, take advantage of it, and they talk reckless to niggas, and they have unrealistic expectations. And that's going to lead to a lot of mental health issues too, you know, emotional shit, because niggas they don't have healthy outlets. But that's why you got barbershops, fellas.
Hey,
the basketball court, cigar lounge, get it with your homeboys. And when all else fails, the strip club, and then all else fails, and you just know you at the edge and shit going over. Nah, nigga, your mom ain't gonna be able to help. She a woman too. A fucking side hoe, nigga. And I promise you this.
No, you can't get that one in there, bro. Nah, bro. I'm not agreeing with
you. Threw that fastball.
Like a slider. You know what I'm saying?
Who's gonna listen to you but a side hoe? No,
she gonna listen to you, but she got ulterior motives, bro.
Listen, I just need to get my emotions off my chest.
Oh, you just want to.
Nah, you need you a good homegirl.
No, a good homegirl. And all jokes aside,
she gonna be side hoe. She gonna go out to eat with you, but you ain't gonna fuck her. She ain't gonna let you.
No, don't make her cute, because you're gonna be thinking about fucking.
Nah, you
got the best thing you should really do, man, with morals. You know how many say they got morals, and the
listen,
morals
don't go down there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So all I'm saying, get therapy. That's what the fuck I should have said, and that's what I mean, because you're right. Side hoes ain't the right. But boy, they do make you feel better though.
I mean, yeah, because nothing like a conversation with a hand job right after.
No, you're right.
You're right.
You said massage?
A hand job. Oh, yeah, same shit.
So no, what about the 3 strikes and you're out rule? Do you ever feel like there's a limit to the mistakes? So if you make the same mistake once, it's okay, you forgive. The second time, like, come on now, the third. All right, this is.
Trev, what do you think? I just think this is more happens in dating, because if you in marriage, my personal opinion is, it's like you playing like Mario Brothers, nigga, and you put in the cheat code for 100 lives. Like,
right.
Like she could keep doing the same thing 12 times, nigga, you still there. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion, but maybe that's more suited for dating. But Trevor, I'll allow you to answer that question.
It depends on what you consider a strike. Like if we talking about cheating, like I'm not doing no 3 strikes.
Well, yeah. Let's take cheating on the table.
It could be like you go somewhere and say you want to cruise, and she disrespect you in front of everybody.
First of all, that's not what we're gonna do today.
But like talk to me crazy in front of strangers and that. Yeah. I don't think I would have been with a woman that would have did something like that personally. Honestly, I'm gonna give you the buck.
And you know it's funny. No. Let's do this.
I'm 6'5", 240 pounds. Like I couldn't like have some small woman like in my face yelling, and I've been.
It wasn't like that in the face. So let's take that stream. But the fact is, no woman should talk crazy to any man. Damn it. So no, I definitely agree. But that isn't something that you should deal with once, much less more than once.
They probably feel like once they do it once,
we'll get back on it. But you know, people take all types of treatment behaviors in relationships for a number of factors. You know what I'm saying? Right. And sometimes they take that as calculated reasons, and so we won't judge people.
Yeah. People have things with their mother-in-law and stuff like, hey, I wish you would make sure you treat our mother-in-laws the same and things like that. If they may treat theirs better, then, you know what I'm saying? And that can cause a little issue.
Indeed.
And there's little things I think in a marriage or a relationship where people just make the same mistake, where they're just selfish, you know?
Do you think, and I think I asked this before, but does it matter to you? Like, wait, what's worse, an inability or an unwillingness? And what I mean by that is, let's say there's something that somebody's done a couple of times and you've spoken to them a couple of times, like, this shit is on my last nerve. You can't keep doing this to me or to us. And they have, and there's some objective measures by which you can measure the fact that they want to do better. They're trying to do better, but they don't got the fucking DNA to do better. Like, what they is what they is, as opposed to a motherfucker who has the ability and can't. Is it better or worse? They both got to go.
What do you think?
Can we put an example on it? Like, for the way you putting it up there, it's like, all right, let's say if it's like a woman who just keep putting too much salt in the food or something like that. Then it's like, then it's just like, damn, she really can't cook. Like, you know, and y'all probably got to come to some sort of compromise.
Let me give you an example. And I'll make it general because this can come in different forms. But I was joking before, but disrespect can be, hey, if you're gonna make any purchases over $100 or $150,
it can be in many forms.
Yeah, let me do this. It could, and she does it. She continually buys things you see in the house. And it's not that you have the money, but she has to consult to you about it, right? Or when your friends are around, she's talking to you crazy, like, man, what are you talking to? Just a bunch of different instances where you said, look, over the last 2 or 3 weeks or last month, you've been disrespectful as hell to me, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Right. So in that situation, you know what I mean? Like, if she's like, I'm trying, but maybe she came from a strong household where like people just tell her how it is, and she's not trying to be this.
Or there was never a man in the house.
Or something like that, right? Like, does that matter to you whether or not she wants to do better and can't, or whether she can and doesn't want to?
Yeah, so I know, like, there's definitely times, like, because my wife's also an entrepreneur, so sometimes she be stressed with business and stuff, so she'll be a little more snappy, but like I usually like gotta like check that within like a few days or something like that. I don't think I could go like a month, just because like it start eating away at me, like, yo, is she talking to me like this? Like, did I do something? And if I can't figure out something I did, I start getting even more mad. So you know, I'm like, to avoid me starting to bark at you, I'll cut it off. But what was the other example you said? If she talking to you crazy, or if she buying stuff, like buying a bunch of stuff. At that's one of the ones where, like, just because like I wouldn't really be able to play too much with the money. We would have to like sit down and negotiate something like an allowance or something like that. Like,
but like, the question is also if she keeps on doing it because she doesn't care, I would have the inability to stop this action for whatever purpose, right?
For the spending, I gotta put some sort of conditions in place, because like, what if you be like, all right, you only get 2 more times to mess up like this, and then if she's the type of woman you describe, and she might be like, all right, since I only got 2 more chances, I gotta make this next one.
You don't say that. You don't say that.
So I with the finances, a condition got to be put in place where we come to an agreement. But like for the other one, you got to check it.
And I want to say something too about disrespect. Disrespect is doing anything opposite of what you and your partner decide on, or doing something to them that you yourself wouldn't want done.
Does it have to be intentionally? Can you be accidentally disrespectful?
You can be accidentally disrespectful once. Because after that, once you're informed, you're making a choice to be disrespectful. This is what makes me say it based on what you just said. My bad, because it makes me wonder if someone keeps doing that, even though you told them, even though they never saw it as disrespectful. Is it necessarily them or just their inability to do something that goes against what they believe in? So it's like, that's when they just don't work out those two individuals together. Exactly, because the fact is, even though she sees his point, she can't help that she can't follow through with it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Agreed.
But it's still disrespect to him, and she has to accept that and hold herself, accountable in that way. Because if you say, no, I get it, you're right, I agree, this is what it is, and you do different, you disrespecting me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the same vice versa for a man and a woman,
Yeah. And there's definitely coping mechanisms for that too.
Yeah. All right. So not practicing forgiveness can bring on depression and anxiety. You don't want that. You don't want that. the inability to enjoy the present.
Yeah, you're married to the past.
Yeah, because you're sitting there thinking about it. So you definitely got to forgive so you can get on. And you know what's funny when it comes to that? It makes me think of forgiving yourself, you know, and not other people, but forgiving yourself for the dumb decision, forgiving yourself for the shit. You know what I'm saying, that you did up because
we've all been there.
It's a little easier almost to forgive someone else than it is to forgive yourself. Because like, damn, nigga, you could control what you did, you bastard.
And you can't run from it.
And you did it anyway. And you can't run from it because you're constantly remembering it. And you know, it's tough when you have things that you regret from 20 years ago slapping you in the face. It's now like, damn, man, I'm still on that shit. Like, you gotta really let go.
It's true, man.
We've all been in a place where, like, I've never been in places where, like, mentally, I'm like, man, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah, we talked about that. Some of those things.
Like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever done, right? So, like, and yo, there's no, like, to Jeezy, there's no escaping that, man.
None.
There's no escaping that. When you go to sleep, like, you almost want to keep busy so you don't have to think about it. You know what I mean?
And let me just say, and what's crazy is men are typically way better than you. Do you think men are better at compartmentalizing, or do you think?
Undoubtedly.
Come on.
Okay, so
fuck you, I hate you.
It's hard. You know, it's difficult when you can't forgive yourself and you have the ability to compartmentalize better than a woman, right?
Yeah.
That's tough, right there.
Right, for sure.
That's really tough. For sure.
All right. Who do you think is better at forgiveness, Trav, men or women? I want everybody to answer.
I know I keep doing this, but it depends on forgiveness for what, like, you know what I mean? Because like, so somebody could like break your trust, like physically, like somebody hurt you, you know, like put their hands on you, or somebody could do it emotionally.
All right, so let's go through that list then. Physical abuse. Who's better at it, women or men?
We much better at forgiving physical abuse.
Yeah. A man will take a slap across the face and be like, man.
We're expected to, especially if you're on some bullshit.
No.
Right. Do we forgive or do we retaliate that? What I mean is, you know, if she hit me, she knows she's wrong and I'm gonna stay here. But you know, when I go out with my homeboys on Friday, I'm definitely fucking something.
I would more rechannel like, when next time I get in that pussy, I'm gonna choke you a few seconds past that forearm.
Because you're a good dude, my friends.
Yeah.
But everybody ain't good.
Yeah.
Am I wrong in that assumption?
I almost killed her, but I guess I'm a good dude.
Yeah.
I thought about for a half second. I thought about killing her, but I'm a good dude. I appreciate it. All right, cheating with no remorse, men or women?
I think women is much easier at
no,
women forgive more better.
Honestly,
yeah, men are better at doing it.
Listen, we're talking about forgiving. Who's better at forgiving? Women, just a quick shout out. We appreciate you for forgiving us. That men don't cheat, so I'm talking about like the Hispanics and the whites, and you know, the Asians. We appreciate you.
But you know, black people can be Hispanic as well, right?
Yes.
So we're not doing that today. We're not doing that.
But we appreciate all the forgiveness that you have given to those men, you know, who was just down bad, man. I mean, come on, fellas, tighten up. We love you, ladies. Give forgiveness. All right, constant lying. I think women might forgive this better too.
Yeah.
You ever met a girl that's like a big time liar? You ever had a chick like
you didn't know her?
Yeah.
You're the best one you
exactly.
know.
Yeah.
He said the best. That was beautiful, dog.
No, them hoes scary. No, like seriously. There's nothing worse than a woman with a nigga's mentality. She out here running the game, bro. It's hard to tell her.
You know, on one side, but her soul as a woman is a short lifespan. Yeah. She running on 110% for a short lifespan because she ain't built like a man. Yeah. That foundation is too narrow.
Have y'all been to New York?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was gonna say it's a lot of women that act like that around here.
Yeah. But Trevor, I would argue that they act like that on the surface. They may even believe it, but it doesn't go to the core, right? Because everybody's messing with a girl. Hey, look, I don't want nothing. I'm the same way. I'm just out here doing my thing, pa. And then like 2 months in the game, if not less, a month in the game, you've been on a few dates. You didn't beat up a couple of times. She like y'all go together. You're like, yo, we just talked about this shit like every dude's been there.
Yeah.
So my point is, and that was the dude. That was the girl where the dude was like, if I believe any female, it'll be her.
Yeah.
And it was wrong. You know what I mean?
There are a lot of chicks though that run it the way you saying too, Trevor, and they're totally in control.
The minority.
I would definitely agree.
The more money they make, the more like the longer they last being able to do that.
Now that's true.
But you know what?
That's true.
And we got to have Trev back for another one because I watched this guy on the internet. I won't plug him because I don't need to. But he says that those women don't get married, right? So basically, what happens is you bypass all of the typical kind of courting because you're on your career path. You get to where you want to be. You're a six-figure chick, got your own house, your vacation. You all on Instagram living like a great life, but no nigga in sight because don't nobody meet your specifications there. You know what I'm saying? You forgot to grab you one on the way up. So now you're looking back down and you feel like you shouldn't have to go back down. The problem is now you're 42, now you're 37, and the dude who's your age, and don't want you.
He either has somebody or he wants something younger.
Yeah.
The biggest, to me, the biggest issue with that is you can do all of that she had, but don't lose your femininity along the way because that's the thing that draws a man. I'm gonna be honest with you. But being a woman, like a real woman, draws a man. That's how that's
where a woman's strength is.
But I'm not arguing with you that. My problem is my response to that is, but in order to be by default to be where she is in her career, she's had to bury that for a large portion of her life, right? You at work all the time. She's had to bury that because let's be honest, you work in corporate America, so do I. So like, let some woman come in there acting like a woman. You're like, look, niggas will say this. I'm talking about VP. Oh, she bleeding.
God damn,
but that's sad. I was like, she probably in the period some shit. Dudes say that all the time.
And still, and it's sad as hell. It's sad as hell. Still,
I'm just saying what happened.
No, still to the
like
day.
People still make black jokes. You know what I mean? Shit happens.
Yeah, that shit does happen too.
So
shit be funny though sometimes. All right, emotional abuse.
That's just talking to
like emotional manipulation, intentionally hitting triggers just to start shit.
Who's better at forgiving?
Like who's better at forgiving?
Men.
Because women do that shit. They live off that shit.
That's how they operate.
Yeah.
Modus operandi.
Little jabs. Like honestly, a woman will kill you with 1,000 stabs. So like she's not gonna just and kill you. Cut you. Yeah.
Like, oh, look at that purple. Look at that car. Purple's pretty. He's like, yeah, like the girl's shirt that was in your phone I found 2 years ago.
And that should have ruined the whole day.
Y'all going to lunch.
Yeah.
Y'all going to lunch.
On a date that you got rid of the kids, nigga. It was her idea, nigga. She waited to bring that shit up. Let me tell you how many times I've been in that where a nigga get in the car and we going out to dinner and I spark a split and she start that bullshit. I'll be like, damn, you couldn't have just did this shit at
home. Like I'm gonna turn back.
Did it before my split.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just tough, dog. Yeah, all right, definitely men there. Not taking responsibility for their faults, no accountability. Who's better at forgiving the lack of accountability?
Men.
Men? I agree.
Why you say that, Trev?
Because name something that you think most men can't take accountability for.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Because I think
you name one thing.
That's the only.
Most of them.
I think most men do take accountability.
I was gonna say a lot of them
they don't stop, but they
yeah.
But
they take accountability.
Once they got caught, they take accountability.
But I'm saying they'll admit to the cheating. What I'm talking about is the reason behind cheating. She wasn't fucking me right. This just happened. I didn't mean for it. I got drunk. They'll accept responsibility. Like women will be like, I never cheated. Like you got to show her the video. The man will be like, I cheated, but here's why I cheated, because he thinks that matters to the woman, right? Like, hey, newsflash niggas, it never matters. She doesn't give a fuck why you felt like you needed to cheat. She's equally as mad.
But you know what's weird though? They should. Because
I agree.
For every action, there's an action. It'd be stupid to say he cheated. And whenever I see that shit online, you can give a nigga everything. I was doing this. No, bitch, stop it. Like, that's why I wish I knew him so I could show them. I have no doubt in my mind, you are fucking up somewhere important.
Yeah.
But because dog, so many women that I know out here perpetrating and pretending when I know what's what. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because that's just what they do. So don't tell me you doing all this. You're not doing if you think you're handling business, ladies, you about 50-60% of the way. Tighten up.
The good ones are 70.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you're falling short. Every woman should go to their man and say, what do you need to be happy? Lay it out for me. What does a good week look like for you? What do you need when you're mad? Well, how do you want to be treated when this?
He should ask her that too.
Man, come on, and he should too.
Yeah.
But you know, shit, I can't. I'm trying to help these hoes out. God damn it. But yeah, you should be asking your man that. And if you really love him and you want him, that should be your priority. That should be your blueprint to his happiness. Yeah. And once you making him happy, you have full expectation and entitlement to make sure he keeps you happy. And that's when you can hold that nigga accountable and you can make sure, you know what I'm saying? And make sure he on his shit because you handling yours. Anything short of that, I mean, damn, the nigga cheat and you looking surprised, you ain't sucked him off in 3 weeks. And you say, I can't believe you did that. Well, I mean, I can believe she did that.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't even hard. Shit.
That actually, all of that made sense. And you know, I don't always support all your rants, but
it's just easy, man. You do whatever it takes to keep your job. Everybody does.
Yeah, that's true.
You got a task your boss give you. Guess what? Man, my boss emailed me right now, nigga, I'm leaving. I got to make sure I handle my business. But your husband and your wife, your man, your girl, that is your boss. In a relationship, it works both ways. Accountable, exactly. If I say that I need my balls licked, shit, I don't give a fuck if you don't really feel like licking balls. What did Chris Rock say? There's gonna be times you gotta suck a melancholy dick, is what he said. Yeah. You ain't gonna always be happy. Guess what? There's been times I've had sex, believe it or not, where I ain't really feel like fucking. Yeah. But I mean, how can I say no? It's my responsibility. She wants some dick. All right, bend over, ho. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that shit work both ways. You ain't that pleasant, bitch. You ain't that cute at the goddamn house. That nigga always wants you. You looking regular as shit, but a nigga still fucking your regular ass. Why?
Because you have responsibility.
Responsibilities, ho. Step up to yours, bitch. Okay. God damn it. It's the weekend. It's Friday night. Let me tell you, if you got a man, and Friday, Saturday night coming, you ain't fucked and stuck them, you fucking up. I have no doubt that this nigga, dog, if you let Friday go, Saturday better be I put on something special. You got to do something extra. Got some ice next to the bed, suck him off and put the ice cubes on his balls.
I don't want that.
I don't know if I want
it.
But my point is, you got to go special.
I feel like Jen have cucumber water next to the bed. You have cucumber water?
I do like cucumber water.
And then you fucking with the cucumber after?
No.
You eat it, don't you?
I mean,
stick it in and then eat it.
I wouldn't mind taking a bite. I'm nasty like that.
Yeah, we went left with that.
What's the next?
Jealousy. Who's better at forgiving jealousy?
Trevor.
Probably women.
Are men normally more jealous? I think women are more jealous. So I think.
Hell no, I think men
are more jealous.
You think
bro.
So?
Yeah.
I think
I'm not a jealous man, though.
I'm not
either, but that looks like.
But I don't niggas at all.
Yeah, a lot of them. I know a lot.
We more willing to leave a jealous chick. But like, you know, women would stay with the jealous dude and then another dude hit on her and be like, well, you know my boyfriend around the corner.
They love that shit. Yeah. You're right. I guess that makes sense. I've never been jealous. I believe I'm possessive, but not jealous. Though.
When I say that, a lot of chicks be like, what the fuck do you mean? It's the same shit. It is not the same shit. Yeah.
You're mine, but I don't give a fuck if you see talking to a man.
And that's what it is. Like, dog, jealousy makes you do is you have a negative reaction and behavior that follows with that jealousy.
Yeah.
Possession is just a state of being. Like you're mine, you're in power. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So controlling tendencies. Trying to control your thoughts, your actions, your likes, your dislikes, your circle of friends. Who's better at forgiving that shit? Nobody should be. That's some crazy shit.
Let's say women.
Yeah. You had to say and snooping on you. Oh my God.
For sure.
When it comes to that snooping, men are probably better at forgiving it because we're the only ones who have to deal with it.
Well, but I was going to say too, we talked about this before. I think, I was listening to a podcast we did before, I can't remember which one, but I said, and it still rings true, the reason, because I think the conversation was women are more strategic. And I said, well, I don't necessarily think. I said the problem the thing is, men really only care about 3 or 4 things. Like, and if they're being met or not met, then we act accordingly. But it's really a small handful of things. Women care about 18 things. Yeah. And so because they care about so much shit that interacts with other things, it seems like they're strategic. It's that they just worried about a bunch of shit that we're not. So my point is that, you know.
How can you help that?
I mean,
I don't know if there's anything you can do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yup.
You You gotta stop smoking, bro.
Yeah, that nigga.
Yeah, you do, Jeezy.
Go ahead.
All right, so let's finish off with, do you know how to apologize? Because I think if we're going to talk about forgiveness, we want to make, well, hey, not really, but
That doesn't work.
I think we need to make sure we end with making sure everyone knows how to apologize. And to me, that starts with humbling yourself and simply apologizing.
You look it right in the eyes and you said it wasn't my fault. Somebody else made me do it.
Yeah.
That's
that
actually
no,
doesn't
that
work.
Oh,
That's called deflection.
Yeah.
Actually.
I feel you.
Yeah.
You got to be able to humble
No,
yourself.
you got to.
And if you can't humble yourself to the person you're with, why are you even with them? That's disrespect.
Put that face on when you lied to your parents as a kid and you had to make it believable. That's what you put on when you say.
But you actually have to believe it.
Man.
Of course.
What you lie about to your mom? Like,
Oh, I used to steal all the time.
man.
Yeah, I used to steal.
I'm
And I
sorry,
used to slash ties.
For what?
Oh,
I had problems, man.
Yeah,
You ain't had no money. I was angry. I was angry.
we're gonna talk about the need of therapy next week.
I'm better now. Mama, they made it.
Are men or women better at apologizing? Let's end it on that. Trev, you can go ahead.
Well,
Well,
what do you mean by apology?
I'm gonna say we're better at apologizing.
Yeah, we do it more. We should be, right?
Because they require it of us more.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say it now. So what do you mean by apology? Because if we're defining by apology like this bitch is stressing, I'm so sorry, baby. I shouldn't have did
That's
that
an
shit.
apology,
Right? I think we apologize more, but I think when women apologize, a lot of times, and maybe it's just what I dealt with, it's more meaningful
It
because
does.
they,
You know
because
what?
they typically don't.
I actually have to agree with you, dog.
And so you still
when it
apologize.
happens, I'll be like, and but you know, in the same breath, it's fucking sad that we're actually giving them so much credit for the
They're
apology.
playing us, though.
No, this
They're
I can't.
Yeah,
no,
exactly. They playing exactly.
Can we call it playing?
No, they're fucking playing us, dog. No, I swear there's a meeting that once you reach an age, every mother tells her daughter, look, there's certain shit we don't do, baby, and we don't fucking apologize.
Yeah.
Them shit's out sparingly. I've never met a woman who was quick to apologize.
I never.
And even when they're wrong, oh, of course they don't. Dog. Even dog, I catch my daughter all the time and shit, and she'll explain around to help me
My daughter
see
too.
that she in
My
no
son
way.
say sorry quick.
Dog,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
dog. Women are so good at not apologizing that we are way better, and we do it for no reason. And I think they mind fucking us, and we got to stop that shit, fellas. Today we got to make a stand.
Get the word out, fellas.
No more apologize. Don't we apologize for every fucking thing? If they bump into us in the hallway, they're not saying sorry.
No.
No, I made eggs the other day and they were a little soggy. I said sorry.
And dog, and let me tell you, she would have gave them eggs and be like, nigga, you better eat them, bro. And you would have said, my bad, baby. What your
Yeah, all right.
God, that's my point, dog.
Yeah.
They mind fucking us, and this shit stops today, fellas. Forgiveness.
Is that the mantra? Is this what we leaving them with?
And I'm just saying, dog, forgiveness, this is how we do. This is the key. This is why we do it. So we apologize all the time for shit we probably don't even need to. Like, what they gonna leave us for what?
You gonna mess up the matrix,
It's not
man.
about leaving because women will stay and make your life miserable, dog. We want to keep
Right.
Yeah, you gonna mess up the whole matrix.
That's why we
bro.
do it. It's not because we soft, because we smart.
This nigga trying to take the yellow pill.
No, do you
That's not even an option.
Listen, let me say something. So, do you know how many times when I was younger, I see my mama going off, dog, and my dad, I'm like, man, smack her. Like,
No, I seen it myself too,
and
dog.
my dad kept us cool. He would just leave the house. Dog. And at the time, I was like, man, I can't believe he come back this bitch. Right? And I love my mama. But I'm like, anybody talking to me like that's 7 year old today. So disrespectful. Dog. And my dad would be gone for 3-4 hours. He'd come back, and my mom be going off. He's like, my dad would not engage. And then as I got older, I thought to myself, man, what did he do for 4 hours?
Yeah. Hey.
For another day.
Hey. Hey.
That's true,
You
man.
got a little,
Yeah.
me
Stress
time.
relief.
Me time.
So Trev, give us all the information you want to tell our audience, all the brunchies out there in regards to the book. I want to make sure they hear it one more time before we exit.
One more again.
Yeah, so first I want to say thank y'all for having me. I enjoyed
Sure.
the conversation. The books are called For the Hustler. It's a book series, volume 1 and 2. You can find it at hustlerbooks.com or on Amazon.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. Let
Man,
me just
great
tell you, you
combo,
said
Trey.
some real insightful stuff.
You did.
Yeah.
You had us on the flow almost.
We got to be more
Almost.
specific going
And I was
forward.
gonna say, I think you taught all of our listeners that we need more examples in life.
Yeah.
Someone asked the question.
We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
man.
of course.
So
Thank
shout
you.
out Brunch with the Boys. Visit the website www.brunchwiththeboys.com. Check us out. We're on all podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, all the rest. YouTube presence as well. Check us out on all our socials. IG for real at Brunch with the Boys at Brunch with Boys with a Z. Check us out on Twitter at boys_brunch. And we have our TikTok. It's live
Yeah.
at Brunch with the
Go check
Boys.
Jen out.
And we put a little
We just
things
getting
out.
started.
Yeah,
getting
we'll
Getting
get
it
on
out.
there.
It's trickling out here and there, bro.
Let me say something real quick, and I don't mean to get serious, because that was an excellent accident. You know, we recently had a close friend of ours that passed away. So one time for Ike Dirty, respect to him.
Ike Dirty,
But
baby.
what I want to focus on is not about his passing, but how that man lived. Fun, genuine, loyal.
Real.
And what I've come to realize, man, is, and my mom always told me this as a kid, I think I just passed it aside because she had a scripture for everything. But tomorrow's not promised, y'all. Tomorrow's not promised. So enjoy your life, follow your dreams, follow your passions, spend time with the people you love, because when you're on your deathbed, ain't nobody gonna want more money, they're gonna want more time.
Yeah.
So make experiences out here and do what you love to do and live your life.
That's
Brunch
a
with
good
the
point.
Boys.
I can't say shit to that. I can't even ski on the way out on that.
No, I'll add something to it. Shoot your shot, fellas. You know, like
Way to bring
seriously.
it back.
No, I know way to bring it back, and I know it's kind of weird, but like I talked to Ike before, we like be happy, live in the moment, shoot your shot. Like don't put it off and say you can't do it. I'm not talking about necessarily with a hoe. I'm talking about
in general,
business
with life.
venture, with life, like whatever it is, shoot your shot. You know,
Yeah, that's true, man.
it is.
That's perfect. We got an entrepreneur on the show today, and that's some stuff that entrepreneurs already know. Make it happen.
There it is.
You know what I mean?
All right, we
All
out,
right, brother.
y'all.
We appreciate you.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a good one. Peace.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.